Now, this last section, I called it social media. And this section is something that's been pretty impactful for me. Social media is becoming a bigger and bigger role in society, whether you like it or not. And I honestly think it could be a game changer for when you're trying to get a new Flutter job or actually any sort of developer job. Now, this doesn't mean you have to do it or that you can't be successful without it, but I think it definitely gives you a leg up. And I broke it down into 3 different levels of social media that could help you get a job. So, first is GitHub. I think GitHub is the minimum you should do when it comes to social media and getting a job. GitHub is just so correlated to coding, and chances are your GitHub profile will be checked by the companies that are hiring. So having your projects uploaded there and showing that you participate in maybe some other projects and have a clear profile that talks a little bit about yourself can go a long way. Now, the next one I think is LinkedIn. This one is literally made for finding jobs, connecting with coworkers, building your network, and sharing what kind of things you've done and accomplished. It's basically everything you need to do to show an employer that you know what you're doing, and it helps you grow connections to actually connect you to the actual job. So these 2 social medias I would try to maximize as much as I can since they're directly linked to development and finding jobs. Now, level 2 is what I call growing your network. This is all the other social media sites. Since networking is such an important part of finding a job, the more friends you have in development, the more opportunities will come your way. And who wouldn't want to work with their friends? Obviously, don't just be that guy that only wants friends just so they can use them in order to get a job, but social media makes making genuine connections a lot easier. And when used correctly, it can make life a little bit more fun, keep you accountable with development, and might eventually land you a job. A huge side note though, keep yourself in check with this so that social media doesn't become more of a distraction than a net benefit. And the last level of this is, I think, the elite tier of social media, and that is creating content. If you're actually creating content about the topic that you want to get a job in, you will get picked significantly higher than developers that don't. Why? Because development isn't all just about your skill as a developer. It's also about teamwork and being able to work with a team to solve these problems. And as a recruiter, you can look at someone's GitHub, you can look at their experience on LinkedIn, but at the end of the day, those are just facts that the user themselves are putting on their sites. You are telling people, not showing them how you work. Now, imagine as a recruiter, you see a person that has a YouTube channel or a blog or any other type of content. You can not only see what type of things they're making, but they're able to explain those things clearly so that others could get to understand it. You get the skill part that the recruiter sees because you're not just copy pasting code, and even if they are, hopefully you're explaining the code about what you built and how you did it. But you also see that you'd probably be a good team member because you have good communication skills and are able to explain what you're doing, and in turn will probably have an easier time working with the rest of the team. You are showing people your capabilities instead of telling. Now, each one of these levels will help you find a job more and more. But like I said, it's still possible to find a job without going on social media. But I still recommend, at the very least, you upload your projects on GitHub and at least try to connect to people on LinkedIn. These 2 don't necessarily make you like a social media person, but you get to share code and maybe make new friends through your LinkedIn profile.